Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking, our call where we talk about advanced topics in public speaking. And tonight, we are going to talk about, after I let somebody in the room, we are going to talk about, where's my topic? Okay. We are going to talk about how to speak up, um, create change, and the wealth will follow. A lot of times we worry about wealth following and whether or not we're going to get clients. But today I'm going to share with you how. And this is a this hello, Luana, and this is a speech actually I'm going to give Thursday. So I'm going to do all of it except for the actual close with it because of the interest of time. So how many of you would love to transform lives? How many of you not only want to transform lives, but you would like wealth to follow when you do? Right? Great. Well, you're in the right place because today, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can speak up, change lives, and make all the money that you could possibly dream of. But first, I just want to take a little minute and say thank you. Thank you all for being here. And I also want to thank Kim and Judy Foster for inviting me to speak. So let's give them a big hand. Oh, yes, for creating the space at which we could all come and play. So thank you so much for that. So before I share with you how you can speak up and wealth will follow, would it be okay if I just shared a little bit about myself? Would that be okay with you? Great, thank you. You see, I've been speaking for over 30 years, and I've been teaching speaking for over 20 years. And I've spoken all over the world. I spoke on cruise ships. I've spoke on stages with the most famous speakers you could imagine. And one thing that was common amongst all of them is that we would always sell. We would always sell. Everybody was talking about selling from the platform and big programs and all of that, but no one talked about serving. No one talked about speaking from the heart and just letting the sales happen naturally. So today, that is what I'm going to share with you how, after years of doing it the wrong way, and finally I just stopped and said, this, enough of this. This wasn't comfortable for me and it just didn't feel right. And so I stopped and I just started speaking and becoming real. And then guess what? All the money I could possibly dream of and all the clients came naturally. But it's not, the technique doesn't naturally come to everyone. So I'm going to teach it to you today because the problem is that we're all taught to just sell, 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 sell. And nobody teaches you the real truth that that doesn't work, that people don't buy from being sold to. People want to buy because they want your products and services. They want what? The change that your products will give to them. So I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can speak from the heart, create change and transformation in somebody's life, and then all the money will follow. So I'm going to use an acronym today. SPEAK. The acronym is SPEAK, SPEAK. Speak. Number one is the S. The S, it stands for speak to serve. Speak to serve. Instead of speaking to sell, we've all been taught speak to sell, speak to sell. I'm going to teach you how to speak to serve. So when we say speak to serve, what does that really mean? What does that mean? It means to, number one, love on your audience. Now, how do you say, okay, how can I love on my audience? So I want to ask you, you tell me, how are ways when you're sitting there in the audience, you've seen a lot of speakers come through this organization. How and when do you feel most loved? Who would like to share? Tommy, how do you feel the most love from a speaker? Okay, how about when they call you by name? Do you feel loved, noticed, attention? What about when they look at you in the eye, Tanya? Does that make you feel loved
Yeah,
and
I
comfortable?
was gonna say when they look at me, call my name, just really look at me. Hmm.
Right, right. It sounds simple, but how many speakers do you know maybe forget that? Right. So it's important to be with your audience, to ask them questions, to make them feel loved, to have them participate in what it is you're doing. Number two is give them hope. As a speaker, our job is to give our audience hope, hope that they can do what you're doing, hope that they can achieve what you're talking about, hope that they can live a better life, hope that they can be a better person, be healthier. Whatever it is that your products give them, they're hoping to be better, right? Now, a few weeks ago, we had a speaker at one of my organizations, Jackie Phillips, and Jackie was talking about health. And she was talking about supplements and talking about fruit and talking about eating all the colors of the rainbow. You might say, well, a lot of people talk about that. Yes, but Jackie is in her 80s. And here she is, a vibrant woman talking about health. Guess what? People are like, I want that. That's how I want to be when I'm 80. I don't know. I remember, Tommy, do you remember how old she is? 80 something. I forgot. I'm going to have to ask.
81, 81.
81 or 82. Yeah, I was hoping she'd be on the call. But I mean, that is what sold it because people it gave people hope that they could be vibrant out there speaking, out there. She was active. She was running around. She was not in a wheelchair. She was not in a walker. She was out vibrantly delivering speeches that changed lives at her age. And people want that. So, number two is give them hope. Now, your story, I'll get to the story in a minute. Let's go to P. Let's go to P. The P is for position you as an expert. Now, we've heard that a million times, position me as an expert, da 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 da. Yes, but speaking is the only thing that will position you as an expert before you ever say a word. That's right. Before you ever say a word, because it's your information has come out in a email that preceded you, maybe a flyer on a website, and your name and your bio and everything about you positions you as an expert before you ever speak. Nothing does that greater than that. Now, number two, not only does it position you as an expert when you're there, but when you share your personal, your professional story, that also will position you as an expert. It gives you credibility when you start adding things that you've done and accomplishments that your clients have achieved. So make sure that you've designed that professional story where you not only earn that credibility, but you earn your audience's trust and you build rapport. That's number two. The E stands for engage with stories. Engage with stories. Now, there's four stories that you need to have in your presentation. You need your professional story, which I shared a little bit about myself. You need your emotional story. You need a story with a lesson, and you need a testimonial. So let me share a testimonial because that's one of the easiest stories that you can tell because it's a story about your client and what they've achieved working with you. It doesn't have to be a long story. It can be a simple story, an example. Let me share with you. So, one of my clients, Susanna Rhodes, she's a um, reverse mortgage lender. And people just don't understand reverse mortgages very well. They're a little bit afraid of them, so they don't really approach her. Just don't understand it. Well, she came to me. We worked on a presentation for her where she could explain it and get people to understand it a little better and feel better about it. Next thing you know, she goes out and speaks. She went blah, 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 poof. And her business grew 43% just by adding that one strategy, just by adding speaking. She just spoke from the heart, talked about what it is she does. And again, the clients followed easily. Now, when you do testimonials, depending on how long your speech is, you want to do multiple. If your speech is real short, one or two is fine. If it's longer, you want to add a few more, but not too many that it just sounds like you're bragging. So two is usually a pretty good number. Now, story with a lesson. Story with a lesson. Now, here's where I'm going to tell my camel story. All of you have heard my camel story, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I won't share it now, but this is where I'll do my camel story. Then the next is the emotional story. Now, let me go back to story with a lesson. Story with a lesson is where you share a story with a lesson, but you do not tell the lesson. You let your audience decide what the lesson is. Let me give you an example. So now I share my story, and now I say this. Who wants to share with me the lesson that they got from from the story? Tanya?
Uh, trust the process.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Perfect. You remember the story. Beautiful. All right. Anybody else want to share? Beautiful. Okay. Right. It's different for everybody, and you let them experience whatever it is for them. It's all right. You're all absolutely right. Now, the last one is an emotional story. Now, this is a story that shows vulnerability. This is a story that shows who you are. So, I want to share. This is a story that shares who you are and vulnerability. So, uh, so one day, it was an average Monday morning, and I got up. I went out to my living room. I started working out. And then a small voice was tugging at me. And it said, go back into the bedroom. So I walked into the bedroom. Hang on just a second. So I went into the bedroom and my husband was still sleeping. So I opened up the curtains and said, wake up, sleepyhead. And he didn't move. I shook him on the arm and still he didn't move. In that moment, my heart sunk and I knew what happened. I started hitting him as hard as I could and I screamed, don't do this to me, don't do this to me. And then, not knowing what to do next in all the confusion, I called a friend. He didn't answer. And then a small, still voice said to me, call 911. I called 911 and everything after that was a blur. And at 3 o'clock that day, my husband was, um, how can I say this? My husband was pushed out in a body bag. I have to think about how I want to say that. Was left in a body bag. Everything after that was complete confusion. And hold on, I see I haven't developed my story very good because I'm cutting a lot of stuff out. Um, it was all confused, complete confusion. I don't even know where I'm going with that. I'll have to work on that. I know where I'm going, but I don't know how to say it right now. See, that's why you have to speak it out loud, hopefully to an audience. Um, oh, okay. Okay. So, because I'm cutting stuff out of my story. After that, it was complete chaos and complete confusion, and I did not know what to do. You see, my husband was my best friend. He was my life. He was everything to me. Um, I didn't say how he died, but I'll have to come back. I'll have to add that back in. Um, it was everything to me, and I was lost. For a whole year, I wandered around not knowing what to do with myself. There were times where I often would consider going out into the middle of the street and getting hit by a car so I could join my husband. but I didn't want to go to purgatory, so I canceled that idea. But I was lost, and then one day I was watching YouTube, and I saw the most amazing thing, and that was a, a bodybuilder by the name of Ernestine Shepherd. She was 85 years old at the time. She's 89 now. And in that moment, I thought, that's it. That's exactly what I want to do. And so, not just get fit, because I always worked out, but to actually be a bodybuilder. You see, I needed something so big that was bigger than my grief. And so I began to find a gym where I could go. And I found a gym. I started working out. And in the first year, I did my first contest, my first bikini contest. Since that time, in the past 4 years, I've done 8 contests and I've won 3 of them. And I just say that because no matter what happens to you, if you find something that's bigger than what you're facing, or bigger than your fears, or bigger than your grief, you too can overcome it. So, so today, not only am I speaking and teaching people how to speak from the heart, but I'm also an inspiration to women over 60 to start working out again. And I never intended to be an inspiration. That was not what I intended to do. I only intended to live and survive my own grief. So you never know when you can inspire people and transform them and make a better life for them and through your words. All right, number 8, or excuse me, A. A is for ask. Ask your audience to take action. Ask your audience to take action. What this means is action at the end of your presentation. This means your close. Yes, it's still okay to ask for the close, but you're going to actually ask them to take action. If we don't ask our audience to take action, we can't transform them. You cannot transform somebody in a 30-minute speech. It takes longer than that. It takes them joining your program, or coaching, or a seminar, something that's longer than just 30 minutes. So it's our obligation to give them a way to get more. I see Ramona's beautiful cabinet out of the corner of my eye. So we need to do that. So I'm going to give you 5 ways actually that you can invite people to get more and to do more business with you. One of them, of course, is just to invite them to come and see you at the end of your talk. I know you have a lot of questions and I want to answer them. So come to see me at the end of my talk and I'll be able to answer your questions. It's a way to invite them to approach you. When they come to you, you know that's a warm lead. Make sure you get their contact information, follow up, and sell to them later. Invite them to something later. But that works really well in a short talk of 5 to 10 minutes when you don't have time to do some of the other closes. Number 2, invite them to participate in a free raffle where you might be giving away a book, you're collecting business cards, and you do a free raffle. That takes a little bit longer, but it's a great way to get all the contact information in the room. And again, those are warm leads that you can follow up later. Number 3 is a combo. This is the only time you can really do a combo, and that's a combination of 1 and 2. Invite them to come and talk to you at the same time you're inviting them to participate in the raffle. But never sell more than one thing. Never invite them to do more than one thing. So you can do that on one combo. Number 4 is to get on your calendar. And this is one that's really powerful because then you could do a strategy session with them, a one-on-one with them, and they can get to know you, you can get to know them, and you can close them. You know, ideally, you want to identify their needs and then provide them solutions to their needs and then close them for the sale. And number 5 is the sale. And that is when you sell from the platform, You need to have at least 30 to 40 minutes in order to do this. It takes time, and have a product that you can easily sell to them. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a little bit. The K in speak is for keep changing lives. Keep changing lives. You want to continue to always to refine your speech and to make it better and better, better, and to get out there and speak as often as you can. Now, Candy Lightner did this. Candy Lightner is a speaker. She's a well-known speaker now, but she wasn't always. And one day she was coming home from shopping with her girlfriends, and she noticed that her husband and her mom and dad were sitting on her porch. And she drove up into the driveway. Her ex-husband. Her ex-husband comes to the car, leans in, and tells her that we've lost Carrie. Now, Carrie is their 14-year-old daughter. And so Candy said, well, let's go find her. She's got to be around here somewhere. And her ex-husband said, no, you don't understand. We've lost her. Well, Candy learned that Carrie and Carrie's girlfriend were on their way walking to a church festival. And a car, a drunk driver hit Carrie and hit her so hard that her tiny little body went up into the air and down to the ground. She was hit so hard that her organs were not even fit to donate. That made Candy mad. The driver, hit and run, drove home and was found by his wife wiping Carrie's blood off his front bumper. She turned him in, and he only got 72 hours in jail for killing Carrie. So Candy decided she was going to do something about it, and she developed MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. And she began to speak her cause. She started with like neighborhood watch meetings, town hall meetings, PTA meetings, school assembly meetings, and on and on and on until she got the word out. She formed chapters all over the US and soon got the attention of the president. Then she got the laws changed. The president, I don't remember which president it was now, I have to look that up. But she got the laws changed, two laws changed. One to raise the drinking age to 21, and two, to reduce the blood alcohol level to 0.08. It has been estimated that to this day, Candy has saved over 300,000 lives because of those two, because she was brave enough to speak and change laws. So keep refining your message. And I'm going to go to my close right now. So I'm not going to continue here because I do need to practice on that. But just to conclude my presentation part, so that is speak. That is the way speak to serve, positions you as an expert, engage your audience with stories, and ask for the business, and keep changing lives. All right, so that's as far as I'm going to go today. Thank you for letting me practice on you. It's so much different, ladies and gentlemen, when you practice live and out loud. That's why it's so important. I share with you practice, 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 practice. So I'll be practicing tomorrow. This is, like I said, a brand new speech for me. I wanted to give them something new. It's not my signature talk. So, like you, I have to put in the 15 hours of practice. And so I appreciate you letting me kind of lay it on you a little bit today. Even for me with a new talk, it is challenging, and I can wing it pretty good. But there's some things I want to make sure that I say in a way that I want to say them. So that takes practice and rehearsal. So thank you for indulging me in that. Is there any comments of that? Anything that did you feel like it was natural? Give me some comments. Yes, Katrina.
I was giving you an applause. That was good.
Oh,
I was gonna say that those were all such good points, and maybe it was just because it was us. It was a little fast. Do you want people
Okay.
to take notes or not?
Okay, that's good feedback. Yeah, I probably did a little fast because I'm trying to get through, yeah, in 30 minutes where it's actually a 45-minute speech. So
Okay.
I'll leave more time for audience participation and, feedback, from them. Like I'll be live with them. So it'll
Mhm.
probably slow it down a little bit. But yeah, I felt that too. Thank you.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought it was really clear. I loved your acronym.
Oh,
Mhm.
good.
Easy to follow, all good points.
Mhm.
Of course,
Good.
good stories.
Mhm.
So,
Good. Yeah, the stories make it, and I'll be, do I didn't want to bore you with my camel story again, but once you get a good story, you just keep telling it over and over again.
it works. And we remembered what the story was.
That's right. That's right.
I have a question.
Tanya, yes.
You said that you changed your signature speech. Is this a group that you've spoken to before?
Yes. I
Oh,
speak
okay.
there once a year and I MC there during the year. So they
Okay.
know me real well. But yeah,
Okay.
it seems like every July they have me speak. I don't know why, but yeah, but I've given my signature talk there twice, which is lead, right? Which is all about leads. And then I gave a networking talk one other time. Yeah.
Um, I really like I thought it was a great speech. I mean, you went over your system, and that definitely worked. I love the part where you said in the beginning when you talked about, can I tell you a little bit about myself? And then you talked about how what you've done created all the money you could possibly dream of. I really did like that. It
Mhm.
didn't sound like you said, well, I'm rich now, or I'm financially free. You just said all the money that you could possibly dream of as a
Right.
result of the new steps that you've taken. I like to see your outline. That's the problem I have when I'm doing a speech is how do you outline it? I mean, do you, oh, I can't
Yeah.
see that.
So what I do is I type like I have speak and
Okay,
then I write some ideas. But then I write when I'm doing my speech, I write down the ones I've decided to use. You see, these are just
yeah,
some thoughts, but then when I talk it out loud, I think, oh, you know what? One is speak to serve, two, love on your audience, three, give them hope. Where I
right.
had other ones, share your story, give them confidence, leave them better than you found them. But when I did the verbally, I didn't want to say all five because I won't have time. I just picked out what I want. And like this one, I put refine or before,
Mhm.
and then I put your story gives you credibility. And so that's what I agreed
So
that I
that's
would
how you do.
share. Yeah.
Okay.
I just
And
write it and talk it out. But see, it's not word for word. It's just bullet
no,
points of ideas that I think I want to share when I'm typing it. And I only type it because I used to just write it and then I would want to give that speech again and I would go, well, where are my notes? You know? So this way I could store them in my computer for the future. If I want to do this talk again, I don't have to start from scratch.
sure. And you have it in the order that you want.
Yes, it's SPE
Oh,
A, and then the
okay.
K is right. And then these,
Okay.
I just, since this is ask for your audience to take action, I wrote down the actions that I want them to take. And then that didn't work, so I did it again,
Hold on
right?
one second.
Like
Yes.
so the first, so just use it and scribble on it and whatever. What I'll keep is the actual first part of it, unless I want to scan it, right?
Okay.
Which you could do. And then I put the stories. I was going to have more stories, and then I decided only on the candy story here. I don't need the other stories. That story was sample enough, which is, how you can really speak and make a difference in the world if you just keep speaking. right? Just keep speaking. She spoke for a long time. They even made a movie out of her. Um, but you know, I mean, you just got to keep doing it. You can't just do it once or twice. You got to keep doing it, and that'll make a difference in people's lives. Yeah. And wealth will be a result of that. I mean, I've been in business so long, I've made millions in my business over the time. I've spent it all, but I've made it. I've spent a lot of it on other mentors. I bought programs for $10,000. I bought a 1 day for $10,000 in Florida once, you know? So, you just reinvest it in yourself, and that's what you do. Get better and better. Okay. Anything else? Hi, Luana. Anything you want to share? Hey, Tommy, welcome back.
Didn't you say you were going to tell us a little bit more about how you present your offer at the end? Or you haven't got to
Oh,
that?
yeah, I haven't really practiced that. I'm not real, comfortable with that yet. Um, yeah, that's the hardest part is selling from the platform. I should say that because that makes it true. It's easy. But yeah, I'm actually selling not only, I'm giving this away, but I'm actually selling, I have a 6-week course that has been in my archives for a little while yet, a few years. And so I'm bringing that out, and it's a 6-week course on, creating your elevator speech, your presentation, your stories. It's, all my teachings, but it's in a nice, convenient video training course. So I'm
Oh,
selling that and giving this class away just to build value, as well as, a book and some other things. So,
nice.
when you sell from the platform, oftentimes, 99% of the time, um, it's because the organization, they take 50% of your money, just so you know that. They want to know, because normally you cannot sell unless it's one of those venues where you can sell. And if you can sell, don't get too excited because they take half of it. But guess what? You have to build so much value and lower the price so low that you have to sell a lot of them really to make anything substantial. Does that make sense? So you can't,
Yeah.
so like a 197 program or 397 program works well. I can't sell a $2,000 program. I can on my stage, but I can't on somebody else's because you don't know them. They don't know you. You only have 30 minutes, right? So you have to build a lot of value and sell it for a low price because you only have 30 minutes. They don't have enough time to really trust you with a couple $1,000 unless it's in your own room. And then you're probably speaking all day long. And then they learn to trust you. And then, like my 3-day program, I would sell my mastermind for $15,000, back in the day. I would sell more live than I would online, right? It's all about trust, all about trust.
Do you feel like that's still true now that you can actually do more virtual stuff? Is that
Yeah.
still considered live?
It's considered live, but you can't, um, you, in my experience, unless you're like, really, um, charismatic, some people can. But for most of us, online doesn't sell as high a ticket price as in person. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah.
So if you have a $10,000 program and you sold it on in person, you might want to just drop it to 8,000 or 5,000 for an online program. And that's again only if you've been with them like for a day, like Katrina, your product, you're with them for a whole day or something, or 3 days, something like that. The longer you're with them, the higher the ticket price. If you're really with them a little short time, the lower the ticket price. Just keep that in mind. It's a direct relationship. Okay. Whoop, whoop. Yes, Tommy. You're muted.
On pricing, Katrina and Peggy and I have done a couple seminars together, and usually they were, I think, about 4 hours or so, 3, 4 hours.
Mhm.
And they were virtual. How would you price something like that? Virtual versus live? Say for a 3 to 4 hour event, that's a sort of a self-help type.
Are you selling something together as a package or individually after each speech?
Um,
Individual is
More
the word.
individual with the emphasis of giving them something at that session to walk away with, and then if they wanted to consult with either one of us afterwards, that's a possibility.
So you're giving something away after each speech?
Um,
Or are you selling?
like there would, I think we would do a 30-minute one-on-one for free or something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. That's what you're doing, right, Tommy?
Um, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He and I, but Peggy was selling a book.
Oh, okay. Well, the book is tiny, so that doesn't, yeah. Okay. And are you each having an hour at least? Or is it broken up?
It's kind of split. I think we each had about 40, 45 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay. So 45 minutes, you can do either. I would do it and see what response you get. In other words, are people signing up for your calendar? So if it was me and I was part of it, I would invite them to a free half a day with me, right? I'd get them into my room. In other words, that's where you're going to close them. And that's what you're doing with the calendar. The only problem is you're doing one at a time. You might get one, you might get two. But with inviting them into my room, I might get 10. Then I can give them the calendar, or then I can sell them on something. So I would try that, Tommy. Get them in your room. What can you, and if it's okay with all three of you, um, you know, I mean, books are fine, but we got enough books, right?
But would you charge or would it uh
We charge.
th- a lot of these people don't know us. I mean, some of them were friends, but I guess some of them would you charge or would that be a free
It'd
event?
be a free event. Again, you're trying to get them to your room. And now, this
Mhm.
is what I would recommend if you didn't even do it together. That you do it together, so you all should do that. Get each other into the room. Um, and spend more time with them. Remember, the more time you spend with somebody, the more they fall in love with you, the more they fall in love with you, the more they're going to buy from you, right? So an hour is just an hour, 40 minutes with them. But if you can get them to come to a free event of yours, now you got them for 4 hours, 8 hours if you want to do an 8 hour seminar. The longer they're with you, the more they're going to love you. The more they love you, the more they're going to buy from you. Keep that in mind. It's not time wasted, it's time invested. Okay. As long as you all have permission, and I would recommend for each one of you to do that instead of selling a book or instead of trying to get them on your calendar. Have three different things. Not everybody will come to all three of them, but you just got to be careful. A lot of people sign up for a free event and then they won't go. So all you need for a free event is a way to get them to sign up for it, right? I mean, it could be a page, it could be something really simple. It could be put your email in the chat if you don't have any way to have them sign up. I mean, it doesn't have to
So
be rocket science.
just so I'm understanding you, so when the three of us talked, you said it should be free, and then we're trying to get them to sign up to another free event. That's just our room.
Yes.
I see.
Mm.
Yes. Just your room alone, because right now your room is three of you.
Mhm.
And they have to share you for only 40 minutes. But Tommy, I want to know more. I resonated with your speech. I want to be engulfed. I want more. I want to know more. So I would come to a free event. Now, you could say it's $5 event if you want to charge a little something. but it's so low that they can't resist.
Mhm.
But it should be equal amongst the three of you since all of you do it. You're all together.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Unless, like Peggy, maybe she doesn't want to do another event. She just wants to sell a book. That's perfectly fine. But the free event, I've seen people that do that and they just, yeah, as long as you have permission to do it in somebody else's room, that's what I would always do.
Hmm.
And I would make up the event. If I could speak and I don't have an event to do, I would just make up one of whatever you're talking about. It has to relate to what you're talking about. So if your topic is faith, then it needs to be a faith-based, not like a business-based little seminar. Because they
Yeah.
want more of what you have. Whatever you're talking about, they go, you know what? I need more of that. I want to know more.
Mm.
Okay. Very good. Very interesting.
Okay.
And this is for all of you. Luana, Tanya, all of you, if you're speaking on somebody else's platform, especially if it's Zoom. Because if they're on there because of Zoom, then they like Zoom. So guess what? You could take them to a seminar that's Zoom. I wouldn't do a live seminar and do pay for somebody, because they get expensive. I'm just saying, let's do another freebie, just make it longer on the same topic you're talking about and get them to sign up there. Now they'll either sign up for a paid product or you can always get them on your calendar after that. That's easy. But sign them up for maybe a $500 program, you know? A coaching. Katrina, you can sign them up for a free coaching and a book or a free coaching and a this. It doesn't have to be real expensive or real long. Every step of the way, it's like the funnel. You get them into the funnel for free, right? And then you push them down further and further and further until they're buying your big product.
Okay.
Sound good? Let's check in with Claudine. She's been sick. Claudine, how you doing? Are you with us?
I'm getting better. Just a little
Good.
hoarse, but I've been taking some meds to take care of that. But other than that, I got most of my strength back. I do physical therapy twice a week, and she says I'm doing great. So thank God. And thank you, ladies and gents, for your prayers.
Good. Yeah, Claudine's had pneumonia and was in the hospital. So that's why she hasn't been here. So we want to keep her in our prayers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions about any of that? You, Katrina and Tommy, are secure with your thinking? Like, ooh, what can I? And name it something. Name the seminar something. Come up with some clever name.
Our personal seminar or the one that we're doing together?
No, your individual freebie.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a different name than what you're calling your group one. So
Okay.
they don't get confused and think, well, I've already been to this one. It's something totally different. So, what is your group one called again?
Wonderfully made by God. Is that what there was, Tommy? Something like that.
Okay.
You're muted. Mhm.
Okay. So now, Tommy, yours you can call it something like a deeper dive with God or something like that, deeper dive into faith. Just something to differentiate it from that one, but that people still know it's about God and faith. So you're not saying how to become an entrepreneur and have your own lemonade stand, you know, although it's tempting, you know.
So
Yeah.
Arvee, actually my bestseller talk thing with
Your book,
book is coming out this Thursday. And and then I have a website that they can go to. I do want to try to promote a little further class too. I'm not sure how to do that. Not exactly. I mean, I obviously have my friends and family that I have a list of, and I'm hoping to, develop more of uh, a list. Would I put that on my website, like inviting people if they go to my website, they a free workshop?
sorry, no one's going to go to your website. So you have to reach them. So I mean, there's a gal that I've known, and she just reached out with me recently, and she could get people in a room and sitting them down, executives and everything. And I asked her, I said, how do you do that? Right? Because I have a list. I've sent out people, blah, blah, blah. She does it texting, and I don't mean a text list. She will copy and paste and individually text people on her list and make them all personal. She said it takes her hours, but guess what? The results are amazing.
That makes sense.
I
That
would
makes a lot of sense.
recommend for you, all of you that don't have a list, because people delete email anymore. 98% of people open texts.
Yeah.
98%. So take a little time, make it personal, because I can tell if it's a group text, if I haven't talked to that person in a long time. They don't even put my name on it and say, hey, go buy my book. I'm like, sorry, I just turn it off. I'm too busy. You're too busy. Make it personal. Take the time. Put their name in there. Hi, I haven't seen you for a little while. I just want to let you know what I'm up to. You can still copy and paste, do the same thing, just change the name, back out the name.
Yeah.
Invite them
Yeah.
to your own and make this. My book just came out. I'm so excited. I'm going to have a little seminar and a kickoff for it to talk about the book. It's only 90 minutes long. Please come and support me. Besides, I want to see you. I want to catch up with you. And you can say that to everybody and it's still personal. Just
Yeah.
change the name.
Well, so basically, I would have to have a Zoom account, right, to be able to have a.
Yes,
Okay.
but you can have a free one, but note free is done in 45 minutes and it will shut off like nobody's business.
Yeah, I've been
So
those.
what I recommend is the $9.99 version.
Okay.
That's up $9.99 a month. And this is what I have. I used to have the $50 a month back in the day because I had it way back in 2016 when webinars were popular. Remember that? People didn't do meetings like this. They did webinars. And
Right.
and that was a special version. And then I was paying for it all this time. And finally, my assistant's like, are you using webinars? I'm like, no, because now it's okay to do this ever since COVID. And I'd rather do this, right? So I
Okay.
got rid of that one and just 999. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'd recommend you get.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Yeah. And you can cancel at any time if you need to. You can have one free account and you can have a paid account. I used to have two accounts because I had my $1 million speaker summit and I had this one. So I was paying over $100 a month, you know?
What would be the purpose for having two accounts? I mean,
Well, because I didn't want people to come in free on $1 million. It was a paid event. My $1 million speaker summit was a paid event. My speak your uh, create your speech in a weekend is a paid event. So I didn't want people coming in on this line because
okay.
I use it for meetings and coaching. I don't have that account anymore because
Yeah.
I don't do those things anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just so you know, as long as you have two emails, you can have two accounts because it's by email.
Oh, okay. That's very helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, any other questions before we end?
Just real quick, a little bit off topic, but people who have books out have written their own personal book. Has anyone approached like Barnes and Noble and said, can we do a little book promotion and at a Barnes or anything? Has anyone done that? Or Arvee, have you ever heard of that or recommend that or?
No, because they're in business of selling books
Hmm.
and they don't get any revenue from you selling yours separately. So the only times that they do that is if they sell the book. And so it's book signings, but they're on the shelves for Barnes and Noble, so they get the proceeds,
Okay.
right? Doesn't mean you can't ask them what the heck. But I have heard of people going and putting their book on the shelf in Barnes and Noble. People come out to buy the book, and there's no QR code for Barnes and Noble. You have a lot of people do that, and pretty soon they're going to contact you and say, I want to put this book on my shelf. But you have to be proactive. You'd have to go and put a couple of books and then go the next week, see if they sold, put a couple more books. You know what I mean? And see if you can. It's a long shot, but I have known people that have done that.
Huh.
I know someone who does that.
You have?
Yes.
Tell us what happened.
They put their books on the shelf, and when they can't find the ISBN number, then they call Amazon or wherever the book has been printed and order books to be put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know someone who does that. In fact, he talks about that at every one of his conferences as a way to get your book out there.
Yeah. So try it, Tommy. If the Lord leads you to do that, do it. What's a couple of books, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, Luana, for sharing that. All right. Anything else before we end today?
Your speech was very good. When do you give it?
Thursday, 2 days.
Oh,
So I'll
2
be
days.
practicing tonight and all day tomorrow, most of
And
the time.
who's your audience?
It's women, women entrepreneurs, mostly spiritual women, women in, massage therapists, kind of the woo-woo, a little woo-woo world, the stars and whatever. Some of that, a lot of that energy, Reiki, however you say that.
Ricky.
So they're really women, sorry, but a lot of them, no money. But hearts of gold. So that's why I wanted to change it to more heart-centered speech.
So you'll do your speech and then you're going to practice your 15 hours. And then when you get up there, you don't have no index cards. You're just going to be able to flow.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No index cards. Tanya. Look at Tanya was with PowerPoint. So now she's down to index cards. That's progress. You're doing great. Use your index cards if you need to. Hey, I've seen speakers use their phone, right? I've seen them literally use their phone. So whatever you have to do to get the job done, and eventually you'll just keep going, keep practicing, and you won't need anything after a while. Just do what you have to do for now, right? We didn't start lifting, 15-pound weights.
Right.
You started small and work yourself up. So if you're down to index cards, I am so proud of you. That's progress. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you next week, same time. And if you have any topics you want me to cover, let me know. I'll be happy to. All right?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Bye.
Have a good speech.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.